Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is the Big Girl Diary. Oh, I've got a wowzer for you today. I like the instrumental. Oh my goodness, I have to say, Steve Harvey, Marjorie Harvey, is it true? Did she do the bad baby with the bodyguard? Oh my goodness, I got a lineup for you today. You can't make this stuff up. You truly can't. But before I get in to the video or to my lineup, please um, like and subscribe. When you like, it sends out the video. It lets people know that I'm live. Please like, subscribe, but also check out my merch. I do have merch, and I'm upgrading. There's more stuff. I got Big Girl Diary. Excuse me. Big Girl Diary notepads, cups. You can't make this stuff up, which I should have on. And also, misandry is not a speck of sand. It means you don't like men. I mean, come on. There's some good stuff. Check out my merch store. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Also, I have, excuse me. Also, I have subscriptions. Members, come check it out. And also, check out what I have on Instagram, Big Girl Diary 1. I got a lot on there too, so check out what I have going on. On that note, having said that, Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey, do they remind you of anyone? Anyone at all? Anyone? Do they remind you of? Does Lori Harvey remind you of these ladies? Well, she's way more sophisticated because Lori Harvey, I'm sorry, not Lori, but Marjorie Harvey would not be caught doing all that wild stuff in an elevator. No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. But, however, it is quite interesting. Very interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay. Before I get into it, like I said, before I get into it, there is some serious. Oh man. I can't even imagine what's going on through Steve's mind. I truly cannot. I can only imagine just how horrible he must feel. If this is true, I have a strong suspicion, my suspicion that it is, just my 2 cents. But, woo, oh my goodness, his long time, what do you call it? Oh man, I meant to change it. Okay. Well, his long time employee, bodyguard that he has known, been Ace Boom Coon for a long time. But let me go ahead and share my screen with you. I'm going to break this down little by little because this is vast. Some people are saying that Steve is getting back what he put out. Karma, chicken comes home to roost. Think like a man, act like a woman. I read that book. I read it and I wanted my money back because when that came out, he was pledging his love to Marjorie. Oh, Marjorie, I love you. I love you. When he was married to his wife, Mary. I mean, I'm like, what kind of ratchet stuff is that? So just how they got into all this crazy stuff, that's how it's going to end. If he or if they got together on some cheating stuff, that's how it's going to end. However, I'm going to say alleged. But before I get into it, let me go ahead, like I said, share my screen because you can't make this stuff up. You can't. This right here is some wild stuff. All right. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. All right. When I saw this, I said, OMG. Now, this right here is Marjorie Harvey, Lori Harvey's mom. That's Steve Harvey. And I looked at their IG, their Instagram pages, so I'm going to get to that too. So here they're talking about in a surprising turn of events, Marjorie Harvey, the wife of a renowned comedian Steve Harvey, has allegedly addressed the allegations of infidelity that has been circulating around the media. She reminds me of, or Stacey Dash reminds me of her. Now, she's almost in her 60s, and I got to say, she looks good. So they're talking about it was debunked, but it's kind of hard to say something is debunked like that. I don't know, but we'll find out if there's divorce pending. Due to my understanding, last year it was like he was running to take all her name off of all of his assets. Steve, I'm gonna leave it alone. But okay, but before I get into that, okay, check this out. In sources, a very confidential claim that Marjorie Harvey has taken a significant step in filing for a divorce from her husband, Steve Harvey. The divorce filings reflect the decisions that ended their marriage, signaling and significant development in their relationship. Yeah, the bodyguard. A key aspect of reported divorce proceedings is Marjorie Harvey demanding for a substantial portion of her husband's amassed wealth. The alleged an alleged half of Steve Harvey estimated 400,000 or 400, million. That is a lot of money. Now, before we go any further, I gotta say this is that I don't think very highly of Steve Harvey. I don't think highly of him for a couple of reasons, but the main one is how he did his first two wives. Oh, his first wife, when he had absolutely nothing, she took him comedy shows. While she's out there working, he's out there doing comedy, and she drove him and got a divorce. Then he got with Mary. And Mary also was there when he had absolutely nothing, and then started gaining something. And then in the height of his career, all of a sudden, Mary wasn't good enough for him. Now, some people say that Mary was a horrible person. I don't know. But they had a child with his first wife. He had twins. He left his twins, his son, his only son, biological son. When he left Mary, took the biological son and left Mary destitute. I mean, it was something. She was just, last year, 2 years ago, somewhere around there, she was just devastated. But as people say, how you get a man is how you lose him. Or how you get a woman is how you lose her. It goes both ways. So, now this guy right here is hysterical. Wait a minute, let me go back real quick. Okay. All right, let me check this out real quick. Further on. So they're saying that it was debunked. I don't know. But we're going to find out. So so who was Marjorie Harvey? Well, we really don't need to go too much into this because a lot that she has is not only built off of Steve, but she already had a lot to begin with. Well, her two ex-husbands had a lot of money, but both seem to have gone to jail for some some type of business that they were in, and I'm going to leave it right there. Now, let me go ahead and get into this guy. You really got to check him out. So let me start saying fair use. I got to say this guy is hysterical. Fair use, fair use. Check out Nino Brown. Check him out. Let's go ahead and hear his side of it. I got to pause it for YouTube. Fair use, Nino. Please do not strike me, Nino. Don't strike me. Because you do some good work. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. You're hysterical.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, Steve Harvey got all these goddamn books out talking about thinking like a man and acting like a woman. Well, that's what his goddamn wife was doing. Thinking like a man and acting like a woman. Marjorie Harvey just filed for a goddamn divorce. And before you point one finger at Steve, let's point four fingers at goddamn Marjorie Harvey, Marjorie, whatever his name, Marjorie, Mayo, mayonnaise, whatever her name is. Steve Harvey been too goddamn busy doing family feud that he see the feud in his own goddamn family. His no good ass wife out there throwing that goddamn cougar box at his goddamn shelf and his bodyguard. And Steve Harvey done caught his wife having a polygamy with his bodyguard and his chef. And I've been knew this woman wasn't no good. Look at him.
Oh my God. Okay. Bodyguard and wow. Chauffeur. Wow. Okay. Now, wow. Okay. I missed that part. He threw his legs up. Oh my goodness. He's too funny. But Steve Harvey he's everywhere. He's on Family Feud. Now he's a judge. He's a comedian. He has a radio show. He's doing all this to keep Marjorie happy. She is very high maintenance, and he has to keep that income coming in. If once he starts losing his money, he's going to lose her, unfortunately. But let's go back.
Goddamn daughter, Lori Harvey. She done slept with everybody in the music industry, and now she working her way through the movie industry. She's the black.
Okay, before you start, I can't.
Comedy show, he told her that he was gonna marry her one day. But when they went to goddamn getting together, and then Steve lost everything and went homeless, lost all his money, went bankrupt. You know that woman left him. But when Steve got that money back, man, when Steve got the millions back, I'm talking about when Steve got that house back up, when he started running it up, guess what Marjorie did? Marjorie went to running back in. She running back to Steve. She came back to Steve and married Steve Harvey. She ran back to Steve, married Steve Harvey. Lori Harvey took his last name, went on with Future and shit like that. And that ain't even his real goddamn child. But it's child. See how karma works? Karma goes around and comes back around. It may not catch you when you ready, but that lick back be dead, baby. This woman's name is Marjorie, and she finna take majority of all his shit. All of TV checks finna be split in half. All the Family Feud, all the Def Comedy Jam split in half. And guess what? It don't matter if it's her fault, if she got caught. See, marriage is a business. Once you default, the woman got no fault insurance. You got to pay up, Steve. Let me tell you something, man. I don't care how many books Steve Harvey writes. I don't care how good he dressed, how good he goddamn smelled. I don't care what he do. Let me tell you something. The downfall of every successful man is marrying the wrong woman. From Solomon, from King David.
I mean, he's pulling out a lot of points, and it's very true. Very true. Oh my goodness. I thought he was funny, but I had to fast forward because he started getting into her daughter that had nothing to do with this. Lori Harvey, whatever she does, has nothing to do with what's going on with Steve and Marjorie. And I thought it was funny how he kept on calling her majority because she's going to take majority of his stuff. I thought that was hysterical, truly hysterical. But however, he's absolutely right. When Steve married her, he forfeited his income because he put all his assets in her name. So when they get a divorce, she gets half, even though that he accumulated that before they even got married. Now I find, okay, I look at marriage differently because I do look at it as a business because that's exactly what it is. And he told her, "I'm going to marry you," when he, you know what she said, but Steve spent all his time working and not giving her the attention that she may have wanted. Well, not may have, but wanted, most definitely. And and it's true. What comes around goes around. As I said earlier, he did his first two wives terrible. He did. Left his twins and his ex-wife Mary, and then took their son, Mary and his son, and Marjorie raised them, which I don't know. But then Marjorie has children by her other two husbands, what just so happens, oh my God, what so happens to be that they're cousins. I, look, it is what it is. She has children by two husbands that are cousins. And both of them were in jail, and the only thing that they had in common was Marjorie. Look that up and you'll find out. Now, it just so happens, as I stated earlier, that when he was writing the book Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, he was married to his second wife, Marjorie, and Mary, and then called Marjorie the other woman, and then Marjorie wanted to sue Mary. Now, if she would have sued Mary, uh, Mary could have most definitely come after her if they have this. I know in some states that they have alienation of affection. Oh, that is a nasty, well, not a nasty law, but that is a serious get back to where you go ahead and get at the person that helped destroy your marriage. It takes two to mess up a relationship, but it takes three to destroy it. Oh, okay, most of the time, but I'm gonna leave it right there. Now, now you can't make this up. You truly can't make this up. Now you can tell a lot by someone's Instagram. You can tell a lot. Now let's look at Steve's. Let's look at Steve's Instagram. I want to feel sorry for him. I really, really do. Okay. Now this is him working. This man spends all his time working, but there's something in there I want to show because he's giving a woman advice on relationships. But wow, he has 11 million followers. All right. Him and his friend. You see Lori, his comedy, his jobs, his job. It's quite interesting. Now you see Marjorie.
I will always love you.
I don't want to get a copyright strike. I mean, look at that. Oh my goodness. Giving her a fabulous life. He works. Oh my goodness, that man does nothing but work. Oh, here it is. Now, I think that Steve should be the last one to give anyone relationship advice. He ought to go to D.L. Hughley. He ought to go to Denzel Washington. he ought to go to Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They've been together for a long, 40 years? I mean, go to people that have a lot of time in. Matter of fact, Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick, um, they have been together for, 37 years? Just them? And what's his name? Oh my goodness. Pierce Bronson. Whenever he sees his wife, the way he looked at her back in the 80s is the same way he looks at her in 2003. I'm sorry, 23. That's who you want to really take advice from. You don't want to take advice from Steve Harvey. No. He's the wrong person to take any relationship advice, period. Heck, Snoop Dogg. He's been married for 29, 30 years. Ask him relationship advice. That's just my opinion. Okay, here. Listen.
Women identify quality men.
Here's the one quality you want a man to have. Does he do what he says he's going to do? If he says he's gonna call you and he don't ever call you when he say he gonna call you, why are we talking to him? If he say he's coming at a certain time and he repeatedly doesn't show up, why are we still talking to him? What are you talking to a guy who does not do what he says he's gonna do except occasionally?
Yeah.
Because suppose it is the one occasion where you really need him. And it's just one of them occasions where he just ain't coming.
So I want to know from you, how do us women identify?
All right. Now, he said a lot right there, a whole lot. I wonder if that is the same thing that his ex-wives would say about him. Because when he was married to Mary Harvey, he was bringing Marjorie up to New York City to an apartment or a penthouse or whatever it is that he had up there that she knew nothing about. So he was taking his other women up to New York when when Mary Harvey was living, what was it, in LA or Atlanta? I don't quite remember where they lived, but she never knew. So, I mean, Steve, how many times were you not there for them? Just a thought. But let's go on back to the, but just looking, he shows his work. Wait a minute, just one more. I think this is the one. Right here.
Lately, I've been finding myself wanting and needing more attention. So I don't want to be that complaining wife, and I don't want to nag him. So I came because I need your help. I don't want you to think that I'm not appreciative, because I am. He works hard. He's an amazing husband and a father, but I need a little bit more attention. So help me. I don't want
Well, I'm trying to help you now. Okay, this is what you need to do. This is just me. This is a suggestion. We need to make some date days. Saturday is your date day. This is the way we're gonna do the date. You and I are gonna go to breakfast and gonna take a walk on the beach or go to the park or stop at a store. Then we're gonna come home. Mama gonna give you a little something to help you through your day.
So just make it do what it do.
Just make it do what it do. And he gonna do what he do. And if everybody in there doing what they supposed to do, then everybody gonna get done.
Lately,
Now I gotta say, to me it seemed more like that what she was asking about was not sexual attention. Put an S there instead of take off the M, because people type, what do you mean by mexy and sexual? Put an S. To me, Steve, everything boils down to mutual attention, but she was talking about attention. Now, her husband could come home from work, sit down, and ignore her. She might want to have a conversation, but he's talking about telling her how to get into the mood. What if that wasn't the issue? Maybe they have a healthy life, that type of life, or intimate life, but not a good other life to where they communicate on a social or emotional level to where she may need more of his attention just for her to have, because women, we most definitely have our issues to where we have our ups and downs, and we just need our husbands or our boyfriends or significant others to simply listen to us. And it doesn't have anything to do with the physical intimacy, but to be intimate in an emotional way to have that help. But look at it, because so far he's only talking about or showing on his Instagram his work and showed a little bit of Marjorie, but mostly his work. Uh, you can see right now that Steve works way, 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 way too much, and Marjorie is left at her own devices. Okay, but wait until we get to hers. It's quite interesting. Okay, there, he's giving more advice, work, him, fishing, him, working. Okay, Marjorie.
Baby, tonight.
I don't want to get us copyright strike. Very nice, beautiful, beautiful outfits. They look great. But if you look at her, she had a half smile, but then when she looked at him, all of a sudden she had that smile. I don't know. Steve. I don't know who they are. Steve, her. I just don't see much of Marjorie. I really don't. I see everybody else but Marjorie. What do you think? What is this?
Together, some fraternity brothers of mine, and we got like a health group. We do Zoom calls. I got some holistic doctors that speak to them, trainers that speak to them, nutritionists that speak to them. Because, we all got together. We get together once a year, man, and we all kind of got together and we was looking at each other.
Talking about the health. But, I want to go back to something real quick, because one of these, where was it? Was it here?
Baby, tonight, the night.
Somebody said something about Marjorie, that Marjorie gave her the chills. Where was it? Yeah, it might have been hers on her channel or her Instagram. But that's his. As you can see, it's mostly him. Oh, wait, is this it? Right here. Look at this. I don't like this lady. She gives me the chills, bad vibes every time when I see her. Wow. How can someone? Ooh, okay. They're gonna go ahead on. They're going on her already. All right. Now let's go ahead and look at Marjorie's. And I gotta say, you have to just look at what they have on their Instagram. I found it quite interesting how Steve had mostly his job, little bit about him vacationing, and a little bit of Marjorie, but mostly his job. So you can see where his attention is going, to the job. All right, let me share my screen and show you Marjorie. Okay, let's start from up here. Okay, Marjorie Harvey. Fishing. What is that, a bass? She did well. I like fishing myself. It's very calming. You see her, now you see, what is that, the family? The family. You see Steve and her. See the two of them. Two of them up, getting ready to dance. I can't let you listen to the music. I don't want to get a strike. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's right. Steve is smooth. Right there's her dad, Marjorie's dad. Her father's 88. I gotta say, he looks good. Now here. Oh, I can't play the music. Now this right here, I mean, Mrs. Harvey. I don't know. It might be the Hollywood thing on some different levels. And you see a lot of her. Okay. That looked like something what Kim Kardashian would wear. Fishing. Two of them. And you know the interesting thing is I see more of her and Steve on her IG than Steve has of her in the family. I don't even see Steve's other children. Oh man, he started to seem more self-absorbed. This right here is Marjorie's mother. Oh, that is beautiful. He is loaded, but, and if it's true, allegedly true, that this occurred. Oh, what is that? Sharks? Oh my goodness, what is that?
I can. You okay? No, hey, bro.
You gotta get one picture, man.
Bro, I do videos.
That's why I want you to get one.
No, Steve Harvey don't do this here, man. No, and bro, let me explain something to you. You quit trying to talk me into this shit, because you're gonna be wasting your time with me. I can promise you that. I don't do no water activity.
I don't blame him. And all those sharks, oh no. That's right. Steve said, I don't do that water activity. Oh man, Lori is extremely adventurous. Very adventurous. Nah. And look, with her parents. That is too wonderful. But again, as you look, you see her, Marjorie with the family, Steve. You don't see her working. You see her on vacation. She could show less leg. I mean, well, hey, that right there is the Hollywood thing. So they do things differently than everybody else does. But it comes back to, now, if she did do this, do you understand why? I'm starting to think I understand. If allegedly she did do this, if this rumor is true. As you can see on their IG pages. Comparing between Steve's IG's page and Marjorie's IG page, who was more you know, together. I mean, he was showing more of them, you know, being more intimate. You know, this is my man, this is my life, this is, you know, my parents, my children. And the only thing that you see of Steve is work, Marjorie, work, Family Feud, The Judge Show, on giving advice on his talk show. He has way too much time. And now as I go through it, I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for Marjorie. Maybe I might have been a bit hard and maybe a little bit too judgmental. Let me go ahead and send a link down if you want to come up and talk about this. If you want to come up, please come up. What are your thoughts? Because, you know, if the rumor is true, if it's true, would you understand why? If she did, if the rumor is true. Now, I know the guy, Nino Brown, you know, had his choice words. Go check him out. He has other content. Oh my God, that guy's funny. But a quick look. I mean, she has a lot of him. A lot of him. Her parents and the family. Oh wow. Oh, look at them. Look. But you don't see that on Steve's IG page. Let me go ahead and bring his up. You just don't see it. Okay. You just don't see it. His boys, his job. You see very little bit about Marjorie, but it's more so him and his job. And he's giving advice. And he's a wrong person to give any type of relationship advice to the last person, because as you can see, he's way too self-absorbed. And Stacey Abrams, oh my God. Steve, I knew there's a problem with you. Stacey Abrams, oh man. But look, working, giving advice, working. Okay, a grandbaby. Okay, the two of them together. Who's that, Tony Braxton? No. You can see Marjorie doesn't fit in. It's about the Steve Harvey show, that's him. Who's that? Oh no. Okay. That's them together. I can't play the music. But has given her a lavish. Who's that? Oh, that's Steve. So you can clearly see that. You can clearly see that if this is true, you can understand why. You can understand why. Let me see. Let me put my number down so you can call in if you choose to. Call in at 301-957-8555 if you would like to give your what you think. Call in, or please come up. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. Give me your thoughts on this situation here with Steve Harvey and Marjorie Harvey. Is it true? Are the rumors true about Marjorie? Have she stepped, or did she step out with the bodyguard, and from what Nino Brown said, the chef as well? I mean, hey, well, at least he could cook. But you can say Instagram tells a whole lot about you. It does. What's important. If you look at my Instagram, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. I'm all over the place. All over. But I don't know. In the very beginning, every relationship is the newness. You give everything, you give it your all, and you put everything into it. But that's the newness. That right there is your representative, who you want them to see. They're not seeing the real you. They're only seeing uh, your representative. And then you let a lot of things pass, like you might sit there and dig in your ear, and that really doesn't bother you because it's new, you think it's cute, all this other stuff. But then digging in your ear after some time, it gets to be a little annoying. Who knows? Who knows? But I just found this rather interesting because I personally thought, as I stated earlier, and now that I went through this on the Instagram and really took a look at it, I kind of feel bad for Marjorie. I do. The whole situation with his first wife, second wife, and third wife, there's only one thing that they have in common, and that is Steve. Did he change? Is he still doing the same thing? I mean, he did. Okay, he did. He did adopt Marjorie's children. He did. All three of them. I think she has I think she has two boys and a girl, or a boy and a girl. But he gave Lori and her son his last name, not their father's, that are cousins. I mean, that right there is, Hey, how you doing? Okay. But okay. but but two cousins. I mean, that sounds pretty. It does sound pretty bad. It does. It does. Under what circumstances did she know that they were cousins? I don't know. I don't know. I truly don't know. But this is really something. I mean, Steve. I mean, as you can see, very self-absorbed. As you well, okay. That's my opinion based on the Instagram. But histos, whatever, whatever. So, what are your thoughts? But again, as I said, Steve should be the last person giving any relationship advice. Now, he ought to give advice how to get a divorce and how to maintain keeping your money, because he most definitely did not give Mary any money. Now, Marjorie, on the other hand, that's going to be painful if there is a divorce. Now, there's no fault divorce. Now, you could wake up one day and just say, okay, look, she looks over at Steve, I don't like you. I don't like the fact that you have no hair on the top of your head. And since I don't like that fact, I'm going to divorce you and I'm going to get half and can. Because there's a no fault divorce. And majority of the divorces come from women because you're not happy. Well, one thing about marriage, is this. You're going to have your ups and downs, as this older woman told me some years ago. She said, you're going to have your peaks and valleys. The peaks are always great, but the valleys, how do you get through the valleys? And that stuck with me. That stuck with me. And I applied that to everything that I do. I have my peaks and my valleys. Like YouTube, my business. This right here is my business. I love what I do. But there are times to where I stay at the same mark. Sometimes I lose some subscribers. I'm like, oh no. But peaks and valleys. When I was rising up, I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, my peaks. And then when I stopped and lost, like on my Instagram on Politics with Laura, I mean, in 2.5 months, 25,000 subscribers. Whoa. Mind blowing. I'm like, wow. Because, politics, I, really go in. But as I got, and that sort of plateaued off. And I know I'm going to go up more. And then I lost 300. So now I'm down to 25,100. But here on Big Girl Diary, it is hard. But I love it. I love what I do. And you see that on my Instagram, you see that I love what I do. But when you look at, Steve Harvey, it's all about him. It's all about him. And I have to say, Marjorie, when I look at it and, thinking about it, it's about her Mexiness. Put an S there, please. And please don't sit there and say, well, you said Mexi, what does that mean? Please take the M away and put an S. That's what I mean. YouTube, I get dinged for everything. It's hard, but I love it. But, so, what do you think? On that note, I really appreciate you stopping by. I do. I want to thank you for stopping by, because you could be anywhere, but you decide to stay here with me and listen to my video, because politics runs the world. Now, whether if you agree with the politics or not, put something down in the comments.